You are sitting in a sterile, modern hospital waiting room, staring at the fluorescent lights while waiting for your routine blood test results. You check your smartphone, stress about your insurance copay, and pop an antacid tablet to soothe your burning stomach ulcer. You feel like a fragile, highly sensitive modern product of 21st century urban exhaustion. But take a deep breath and let us transport your mind back 40,000 years into the freezing depths of the last ice age. Imagine waking up inside a dark, freezing limestone cave with a compound fracture in your leg while a pack of hungry cave hyenas circles the entrance. There are no antibiotics, no emergency rooms, and no specialized trauma surgeons. For 99% of human history, your survival depended entirely on the brutal trial-and-error genetic shield built by your ancestors. How did we get from that wild, primal survival lottery to the highly regulated global healthcare systems of today? The shocking answer is not just found in modern medical textbooks. It is written directly inside your personal DNA. The ancient, passionate love encounters between Homo sapiens and Neanderthals tens of thousands of years ago are literally dictating how modern global hospitals treat you today. To understand this deep evolutionary connection, we must first blow up the primitive Hollywood myth that Neanderthals were just stupid, grunting brutes who died out because they were too slow. Modern genetic science has completely flipped this outdated narrative. Groundbreaking research, led by Nobel Prize-winning geneticist Svante Pääbo at the Max Planck Institute for Evolutionary Anthropology, has proven that when Homo sapiens migrated out of Africa into Europe and Asia, they met Neanderthals who had already successfully adapted to cold climates for 300,000 years. And instead of just fighting brutal wars, our ancestors looked at these thick-browed, muscular strangers and decided to interbreed with them. This cross-species romance was a massive evolutionary shortcut. Homo sapiens stole a pre-made genetic survival toolkit directly from the Neanderthals. Today, every single human being of non-African descent carries between 1 and 2% Neanderthal DNA in their cells. This ancient inheritance is not just a useless evolutionary souvenir. It actively controls your immune system, your blood physics, and your risk for major chronic diseases, fundamentally shaping the trillion-dollar global medical economy. So, let us reconstruct how this ancient genetic mixture forces modern hospitals to manage your body. And trust me, it is a wild biological paradox. Imagine you walk into an emergency room today, suffering from a deep cut. The modern ER doctor rushes to prevent excessive bleeding, relying on your body's natural coagulation, which is the complex biological process of blood clotting. Research published by Dr. John Capra at Vanderbilt University revealed that specific Neanderthal gene variants inherited by modern humans directly accelerate blood clotting. In the brutal Ice Age, this was a brilliant evolutionary lifesaver. When a woolly mammoth gashed your thigh with its tusk, you needed your blood to turn into a thick plug instantly, or you would bleed to death in the snow before your tribe could carry you back to the campfire. However, place that exact same hyper-efficient Ice Age genetic defense mechanism inside a modern human who sits at an office desk for 8 hours a day, drinks 3 cups of sugary coffee, and eats highly processed fast food. That brilliant prehistoric lifesaver instantly transforms into a lethal modern medical crisis. Your blood clots far too easily during long, sedentary flights or long commutes, dramatically increasing the risk of deep vein thrombosis, pulmonary embolisms, and ischemic strokes. Modern global healthcare systems spend billions of dollars every single year prescribing blood thinners like aspirin and warfarin to chemically fight the very same Neanderthal genes that kept your ancestors from bleeding to death. Your local cardiologist is essentially fighting a daily pharmaceutical war against an Ice Age survival strategy. But the genetic plot thickens when we look at how modern emergency rooms handled the recent global viral pandemics. During the peak of the respiratory health crises, global ICU wards were completely overwhelmed by modern patients whose immune systems went into an uncontrolled, self-destructive panic known as a cytokine storm. Evolutionary biologists analyzing the genetic data discovered a direct link to a specific cluster of genes on chromosome 3. A comprehensive study, co-authored by Dr. Hugo Zeeberg revealed that humans carrying a specific Neanderthal genetic segment were up to 60% more likely to suffer severe respiratory failure when infected by modern pandemics. Why would our ancestors preserve a gene that makes a modern respiratory virus so incredibly deadly? Because 40,000 years ago, the primary threats were not airborne industrial viruses spread through international flights. The primary threats were lethal bacterial infections from rusty animal claws, open wounds, and local parasites in dirty cave water. This Neanderthal gene variant acted like a biological hyperalarm, forcing your immune system to launch a massive scorched earth inflammatory counterattack the absolute microsecond a pathogen entered your bloodstream. It was an emergency defense wall that kept you alive long enough to hunt another day. But when this prehistoric biological alarm system faces a modern virus in a sterile hospital ward, it completely overreacts, destroying healthy lung tissue and forcing doctors to use heavy immunosuppressants. Modern intensive care units are literally scrambling to damp down an ancient evolutionary panic. This leads us to a fascinating, counterintuitive medical twist regarding your skin and how global pharmaceutical companies make money off your daily allergies. You might complain constantly about your hypersensitive skin, spending money on expensive dermatologist visits and special creams for eczema, psoriasis, or sudden hives. You can thank your Neanderthal cousins for those annoying medical bills. When Homo sapiens first arrived in cold, dark, northern climates, their tropical skin lacked the biological tools to process low sunlight and resist new northern allergens. By interbreeding with Neanderthals, we acquired specific genetic variants that altered our keratinocytes, which are the cells forming the outer protective layer of your skin. This inheritance gave our ancestors tough, thick skin that blocked local cold climate infections and optimized vitamin D production under gray skies. But in our modern world of ultra-clean apartments, chemical soaps, and synthetic fabrics, this hyperreactive skin barrier perceives harmless modern dust mites, artificial fragrances, and laundry detergents as lethal ancient parasites. Your immune system launches a massive inflammatory response, causing painful rashes and chronic skin conditions. The entire global skincare and anti-inflammatory pharmaceutical industry is essentially a giant commercial operation designed to soothe the hypervigilant Ice Age skin that allowed your ancestors to survive the sub-zero blizzards of the Pleistocene. As medical science moves toward the futuristic era of personalized precision medicine, global healthcare systems are realizing that a patient's geographic evolutionary history dictates how they respond to treatment. Consider the massive global crisis of type 2 diabetes, a metabolic disease that costs international healthcare systems hundreds of billions of dollars annually. Genetic mapping has revealed that a specific Neanderthal gene mutation, known as the SLC16A11 variant, is highly prevalent in Native American and Latino populations, dramatically increasing their genetic risk for diabetes, even at a lower body weight. In the unpredictable prehistoric past, this gene variant was a metabolic masterpiece. It altered lipid metabolism to help your body store every single scrap of fat and sugar with extreme efficiency, allowing your ancestors to survive months of catastrophic winter starvation when food disappeared. But when you take that hyper-efficient, starvation-proof metabolism and drop it into a modern world of 24-hour fast food drive-thrus, hyper-processed high-fructose corn syrup, and complete physical inactivity, the system totally breaks down. Your liver becomes completely overwhelmed, leading to rapid insulin resistance and chronic organ damage. Modern global public health departments are not just fighting poor modern lifestyle choices, they are actively trying to manage a prehistoric starvation survival mechanism that has been suddenly flooded with an infinite supply of cheap calories. When we mirror this ancient genetic reality onto the structure of modern global medicine, the realization is truly mind-bending. We view our modern hospitals, advanced mRNA vaccines, robotic surgeries, and complex health insurance systems as the ultimate triumphs of modern human intelligence. Yet, the actual daily work of global healthcare is heavily dictated by the biological choices made by mixed-species couples huddled around campfires 50,000 years ago. Our bodies are essentially ancient biological machines trying to navigate a hyper-artificial modern matrix. Ultimately, your long hospital visit ends, and a modern nurse hands you your official medical chart. You walk out of the automatic sliding glass doors of the clinic, stepping into the busy city air under the glowing neon signs of the pharmacy. You look down at the small paper bandage covering the puncture wound on your arm, watching your blood clot perfectly within minutes. And you smile as you feel a profound connection to the deep past. Your body's quirks, your sudden allergies, your immune responses, and your resilience are the living, breathing history book of human survival. And as you drive home through the urban traffic, take your modern medicine and curl up in your safe, warm bed without fear of predators. You can rest easy knowing that the ancient love and survival of your ancestors is still flowing through your veins, protecting you every single second of your life.